change, both in the economic and demographic and cultural sense, really vastly accelerated after World War II. Things were just moving faster and changing faster. People who were in their 70s in 1945 might not think they had seen that many changes since 1900, but no generation subsequent to that one would ever be able to think that, and the generations really would not span such elongated periods of time.
The greatest generation, we're talking 20 years. The baby boom, we're talking almost 30 years. When we start talking into Gen Xers, Gen Yers, and Millennials, we've just cut 30 years into 10-year slices. So the generations are happening much faster because technology in the world that we live in is changing so very rapidly. Each generation brings sort of a different energy, different demands, different life to the city. And so by understanding the generations that a city already has, as well as what they can attract, is pretty important to the city's future.
One big change is the change to service jobs. So now we have a lot more service jobs than we have manufacturing jobs.
A big city is definitely still competing for industry, but a lot of the small cities aren't in competition to attract businesses. They're in the market to attract people.
Now I think this is more about talents, and there's more tendency of the jobs follow people. So businesses now will find strategic locations where they can find the right employees who can work for them.
And so the game then is, how do you position your city to attract the largest amount of people from the broadest spectrum of generations? The number one reason why people move and where they move to is schools across all generations.
Communication is the key to anything. If you don't know what's going on, you need to ask, or you need to get yourself involved. And that's being involved in the school system itself. I constantly telephone the school system, asking them, what can I do to help? Just give me a call and I'll be there.
So if you were to try and attract people into your city, make your city as attractive as it can with amenities. Schools, ease of access to workplaces, access to recreation, or prime shopping locations. That's something that a lot of the younger generations are really looking for.
I get a call from Chad and he's saying, look, this district, it's not that responsive to this new generation. Can we encourage store owners to think differently about their product lines?
All kids, they're looking for something that's their clique. Anything that's outside of the normal, we ask them, what do you want to see in stores? So we're trying to expand into their realm too.
It's just not about making a profit or having a store where we can sell things. It's also about being really personal with the youth. So they're comfortable to come into the store, hang out, talk to us, and that we can be a positive role model.
I love the fact that they're thinking holistically about what its future is, and also just thinking about what the new opportunities are for this downtown district.
For dealing with the millennial generation, technology is a big factor for cities. It goes beyond what we think of as social media into what we actually use. So something as a simple amenity as Wi-Fi, that is such a strong amenity because so many people are connected 24/7. So attracting the younger generation is something that a lot of cities would be really interested in. But it really depends on where your city is located and what you have to offer. Some cities are really setting themselves up to attract the baby boomers, providing the necessities of life as well as a slower pace of life that people want to experience as they age.
As a general rule, seniors don't have as much demand for amenities like swimming pools and tennis courts and whatnot, but seniors love to be in a town with a nice city center, especially one that they can walk to. We have a development in Washington, Georgia that's under construction as we speak, and part of the attraction to Washington is it's a small town where you can have a more relaxed atmosphere, but it's right outside of a larger metropolitan area like Augusta. They're very good citizens, and they pay taxes, they continue to buy things, and they are not such a drain on the local treasury. So localities actually benefit the older the population that you have.
Noonan is a wonderful place to do business. We've had great support from local government officials and businesses. The abundance of healthcare talent has been great, but also Noonan has big city amenities for a reasonably moderate-sized town. And so it's been the best of both worlds for our patients. They find a lot of comfort coming to Noonan, Georgia.
We have a lot of retirees moving to Dahlonega. We have a college. They take a lot of continuing education classes over there, and there's several state parks that you can visit, hiking trails, fishing, there's a golf course, and you can do a lot of stuff without spending a fortune. Another big draw to Dahlonega is the friendly people. County and city officials are very helpful. If you go to City Hall or the planning department, they'll bend over backwards to help you whatever you need.
There's a lot of revenue pressure on state and local governments in the United States right now. For the next 25 to 30 years, the economy is going to be largely service-based. Our family structures are different, which means that we demand different kinds of services from local governments. Cities in the future will need to adjust both how they attract revenues, how they develop the revenue side of their budget, but also the type of services that they provide.
I think the process of adaptation is going to continue to be a challenge for Georgia's cities. Overall, I think Georgia's cities are very well positioned in terms of their prospects. And as the nation rebounds, that Georgia will certainly rebound and maybe jump out to the cutting edge.
Anytime you have exciting, creative development in any area, you're going to continue to draw new people into the community. If there is one thing that is our mission, it is sustaining and growing a city that attracts the next generation.